Hey everybody, how's it going today? So yeah, I hope everybody's having a good weekend. I went out biking this morning and I'm tired. But never tired enough to stop programming. So yeah, today, I'm gonna keep trying to work on my dragon. I went ahead and did a couple things off stream. Somebody watching had recommended these things. So we've got a quit button. I fixed the camera when you go to top view, and I added this help button thing. So I'll go ahead and show those. So you can already see the UI there, but let's see, hopefully this is big enough. But yeah, so at the top we've got a quit button, resign. It just does what it says, you quit. Pretty straightforward. We've also got this help page, which kind of barren at the moment, but at least it tells you what stress does. And then the last thing I fixed was camera, so the top view button. So even if you spin around like a million times, it'll still pick the closest way to get to the top view. So yeah, that's what I did off stream. I was having some trouble with that camera thing, if you remember from last stream. I'll show you what I did to actually fix it. So over in my camera controller, so here's what I ended up with. So first, well, no, I don't even need that. Let me delete that. Alright, so first we take the amount of rotation it takes to get to the default angle, which is the default minus the current. And then we calculate how many rotations that is. So basically, if you're under 180 degrees negative, or you're over 180 degrees positive, then we'll calculate the rotations. Otherwise, we just apply it. So, for the rotations, this took a little doing. I was having a hard time figuring out exactly what I wanted. But basically, take the absolute value, divide by 360. That gives you how many rotations, right? And then at first I was trying to like round it down to floor it, but that wasn't working all the time. But I realized finally I wanted to round to an integer. And then basically just, have that many rotations. And so that'll get our angle in the range of minus 180, 180. And then once we've done that, we can just apply it, no problem. So yeah, it works great. No problems there. It did take a little while to figure out, though. Alright, so what we want to do is, I was in the middle of implementing the melee weapon. Oh wait, there is one more thing I did. So, I figured out a little bit about how animations work on Unity. Now, I mean, again, this is just some store asset I bought. But, basically, we've got a flying dragon now. As soon as it loads. So yeah, if you check it out, see, he's flying. Pretty cool, huh? And that generally makes it look cooler. So yeah, it actually looks like they're flying. Now they do still shoot laser beams, which is another problem, but let's not worry about that. Come on, I can't do everything, you know. There he is in the menu. I wonder if I want to make him a little bit bigger. Maybe just a tad. That thing. Where was that thing at? Here it is, in show ship. Yeah, so I wasn't sure. Let's try scale. Same as the ship, probably. I imagine. Let me just take a quick peek at that. I try to just knock out these tiny tasks when I see them. That way I don't have to build a huge list. Alright, I mean, that's probably fine. That's probably fine for now. He is clipping off a little, but that doesn't really matter. Oh, another thing I did was I did think about adding some icons somewhere. Let's see. I was gonna add my my weapon texture. Now where's the enum for that? Because I wanted to add a cool claw icon, which I went ahead and grabbed from my other game. Yeah, let's add claw as a weapon icon type. Then in our ship, we'll change the icon type to claw as well. And then in Unity, let's go ahead and add that. Alright, we need to grab our textures, weapon icons, claw. Alright, that'll, I think that'll let it show up now. Yeah, there we go, he's got our claw. Cool, cool. Alright, so let's see what he looks like when he's climbing. Oh, I need to change the ghost. that was one other thing I was messing with, was like an offset of, yeah, I wish I could make like a dive animation, but that's too much work for now. Yeah, one thing I did that I left kind of half done. So in the dragon character prefab, I moved the model down 10 because the dragon, when he was flying, was a little too high. So then we have to move the ghost down 10 as well. And that should be good. So now, no, the ghost is not where I thought he would be. Ghost container. I moved it down 10. Just like model container. Why isn't that good enough, guys? Oh, it's probably because we set the, we probably set the ghost position, don't we? Alright, so yeah, we set his, position there. Alright, I know what I should actually do here. So over in Unity, we don't want to actually do that. We want to set, we want to have like a ghost model container, basically. Let's go ahead and go to base ship. So we've got ghost container here. And we want to basically add, probably just an empty. Alright, there we go. And then what do we want to do? I want to double check that this shows up in our characters. It does. And finally, we need to set the model container. Actually, where do we have the model at? Alright, here we go. Rather than, yeah, I think I'll just add a field, maybe. Yeah, let's add another field. We'll just call it ghost model container. And we'll parent the model we attached to that. And that should be all we need. Then we'll still set the ghost position and everything, because there are other objects in there that we want to set. So the only other thing we need to do is in the base ship, set the ghost model container right here, and then we should be done. Oh, then in our dragon though, we will move the ghost model container down by 10. Just like model container. Alright, and if everything's good, we should see that our ghost is now at the same height as our regular model. So looking good. And another thing I noticed, the side slip I feel like looks really good when he flies. Right, like that looks really good. Alright. So we fixed that up. But this is just me putting off working on my weapon. Alright, so let's go take a look at weapons. So yeah, what we need to do is we need a last time fired for each weapon. So let's turn last time fired into an array. Just like that. And let's see, when we start, we were setting it to, this ridiculous number. We do need to initialize the array somewhere. That's probably the best spot though, right? Yeah, that's probably the best spot, so... and the size we want it to be, the same size as the weapons. And then we'll just go ahead and initialize it. I guess we can't... You can't assign inside for each, which is kind of silly, but I understand why. Instead, we'll just do it like this. It's because for each creates an enumerator object, and if you assign, it can get a little confused. Alright, so now we'll have some errors every time we need to update our fire time. So that's what we want. Alright, so here, let's actually we are going to iterate through like this instead. And we'll say weapon equals ship data weapon supply. There we go. And then we'll grab that there. Alright, so we're checking for each of our weapons. We'll do the time check. And the fire rate check's still good as well. Find out if they're in arc. And we updated that last time. So that should work with melee weapons since they will still have a min-max range. And then, yeah, then you fire. We might want to pass in the weapon index here. Since we do need to update the last fire time as well. So let's do that. We'll just pass in weapon index. And you know, I kind of like to rename some of my variables sometimes, just to make them super clear. So we'll make that weapon index. Alright, so there we are with that. And then determine if it hits. We can go ahead and set the last time fired first. Last time fired weapon index is basically set it to now. So that'll spawn the bullets. But we are going to want to change something here, because the melee attack isn't going to have a bullet, really. I mean, maybe I'll make it have an invisible bullet. Yeah, maybe it'll be an invisible bullet, just so the whole system works. Yeah, that might work if we just run an invisible bullet for the melee weapon. Because we actually want to play like a cool animation. I think that would be neat. So I do need to think about how to do that in the networked world. And probably through... Let's see, so we're spawning this thing. Setting its color. And then all of the bullets are updated. And update bullets. So that's where we move them and decide if they hit the target or not. And when they get hit, we find the hit, ship, and make it take damage. But in the take damage, that changes the health remaining, and that is networked field. So that's how it shows up on both computers. But I wonder how we want to make it play an animation. There's plenty of ways to do it. I'm just trying to think what's the best. Alright, well, first off, let's see if we can figure out how to play animations before we get into that, because that might actually drive our decision there. So over in Unity, let's go check out the Animator. So this is the new thing I found, which basically, there's like an animation state machine if you want. I went ahead and just made my own node here. I copied this fly floating node and made flying idle. And if you check out the at the bottom here, it lets you play the animation. But yeah, so that's what I put in here. And I just made it the default node, and there's no other way to get to go anywhere. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want like one of these attacks animations. It's going to look pretty bad, probably because these animations were not made with flying in mind, right? But because he's going to go from like flying up here to like being on the ground and attacking, which is going to look kind of dumb probably. That's kind of cool. Oh, we should switch to this when we dive. Actually, maybe we'll try that first. Alright, let's copy this over here. And we're gonna rename it to dive. And we're gonna make a transition, I think, to dive. And you should be able to add conditions here, yeah. But I don't have any conditions. So let's add a trigger called dive, I guess, or like one dive. We'll call it one dive, maybe. I don't know what does that little thing mean? I don't know. But anyways, oh, here it's got the blending of the animations, which is pretty cool. But yeah, let's one dive. I wonder if this is like if it starts set or not. Then we need another trigger to go back to flying, I think, right? Let's make one called, no, not a bowl. Resume flying. I think that's what we want to do. I watched a little, tutorial on the animations before this, but then I forgot. Alright, we'll try that. Then he'll go back to flying. Alright. So we've done that. Now, from our script, we probably want to, oh, maybe we want to add a new script here. Maybe we want to add a script. I'm not actually, this is the Animator. If you go to like, Windows Animation Animator, I'm not actually sure which, I don't know if it's the visual scripting necessarily. I think it's mainly for just animations. I don't know if there's another way to do your animations. Alright, but we did that. Let's go ahead and what do I want to do? Yeah, what we're gonna try is let's go back to code for a second. So just for quick testing, let's make it that we click our ship. Yeah, when we select our ship, we're just gonna go ahead right then and do get component animator, and then we're gonna try set trigger on dive. Yeah, I think that's just what the animator thing looks like. I'm not actually familiar with the visual scripting, so I don't know if it looks the same or not. Alright, so now when we click on our dragon, hopefully it transitions to the diving animation. Oh, we got an exception already. What? Line 159. Oh, that's, that's right here. Why is this an exception? Oh, it's because we did this before we set the ship data. That would do it, wouldn't it? Alright, let's go ahead and just set this after that then. There's actually no reason to set it before spawn, because it's not a networked field. So we'll just move it down there. Alright, well, if you don't get any other crashes, then maybe it'll work. Alright, so when I click on him, we get an exception. There's no animator attached to that. Oh, you're right. It's attached to the model, isn't it? Hey, thanks for the follow. Where did I learn Unity and C#? So, I'm a programmer for a living. So I'm trying to think if I actually took any C# classes in school. I don't think I did I? I don't know. I mean, I took tons of C++ classes back in college, but, I mean, C#'s so similar, right? That, it's pretty easy to pick up. And as for Unity, mostly all just self-taught through tutorials and stuff. Because I've just worked on... This is actually my first big game program in Unity. My first real Unity project, I would say. And it's been quite the fun learning experience. What was I doing? Oh yeah, the Animator. Probably a few months. You could go see when I started working on this on stream, maybe. Or wait, maybe I didn't start this on stream. I don't remember. But yeah, it's probably been like 2 or 3 months off and on now that I've been messing with it. We need to get to the Animator. Alright, so... Yeah, this doesn't work because, yeah, that doesn't work. It's because in Unity, my, the Animator is on one of the child objects. This isn't quite what we want either, because, yeah, it's not quite what we want. Let's actually just add a function. We'll just add one way at the bottom. So we know that the model is, so in model container, the child of transform. So the child of that is what should have our animator. So I think that'll work. But we'll see. Yeah, so underscore is generally meant to mean a member variable. Nice, so we switched to the dive animation. So that's cool. So there's actually a lot of different, what are they called? Like a lot of different styles, I would say. So, you know, in older programs, people used to actually do like im underscore. So basically, it would be like whether it's like a member or a static or something underscore the type of the variable, and then the actual name, right? That used to be a pattern, but like the and so you basically be like im underscore like G for, or like GA for like game object, and then it would be like model container or something. It gets to be kind of a mess though, so people generally stop doing that, especially with IntelliSense, right? I can just tell you what it is. But yeah, so it's just kind of used to mean that it's a generally that it's a private member as well. So what I'm kind of doing is like my private members I'll put like underscore, and my public members I'll keep capitalized. But people do all kinds of different styles. Like most people like might just have everything capitalized. What I like about the underscore is it at least tells you when you're looking at it, like at a glance, you know that this is modifying a member variable. Whereas, like let me find like a big function. So like I got this big function here, right? And you know, halfway through, we're looking at primary target. Now, is primary target a member of this class, or is it just a variable that's defined further up, right? How do you know? So generally you have to rely on your style to know that kind of thing. And so in this case, I never name local variables with uppercase, so I know that uppercase means it's a part of this class. But yeah, I mean, if it had an underscore or an uppercase, then I would know it's a member. So yeah, enemy ship, we know that this is going to be a local variable because it starts lowercase. And sure enough, if we scroll up, there it is. It could be a parameter as well, though. So yeah, I like to just the point, right, is that you're trying to make your code as easy to read as possible, because you need to go look at it later to fix everything, right? All right, so what we might do here, we've got our play dive animation function. What we might do is, we'll make sure that the animator is not equal to null. And then, well, let's add another function for, play default flying animation. Let's call it just play flying animation. And we'll basically do the same thing. And let's actually just call this one on flying. I know that's not what I called it in the editor, but we can change that. And to make sure I really am doing things correctly here, gonna just real quick we're gonna just use this and say if we're flying, play dive, else play flying, and then we'll swap. So that way every time we click him, and we're gonna drop this up here actually, just so our other logic doesn't get in the way. So I'll be able to quickly switch between flying and diving. So back in Unity, we do need to go back to our Animator and rename this. Oh, can we not rename it? There we go. Alright, now it matches up. Alright, here we go. So now when we click, he should go dive. Now he's diving. And then if we click again, he's back to flying. Nice. Alright, cool. We're getting the hang of things. So let's add one more trigger while we're here. And let's go ahead and maybe we'll use claw attack. Again, it's gonna look pretty bad, I think, but we'll do it anyways. When's that ever stopped me? Alright, so we've got claw attack. Actually, let's call it melee. Alright, and we can go from basically either of these to melee. And it's going to be when we get our trigger on melee attack. I do work in the game industry, but I don't work exactly on video games. But generally I'm building like tools or working on some other random things. But yeah, I don't quite work. I don't make games at work. More like system software type things, without getting too much into the details. So yeah, game dev's definitely just my hobby, and man, it's definitely hard to make a game. So much work. It really makes me appreciate people that actually ship games. Sure, I don't want to get too much into the specifics, but I also don't want to reveal how old I am exactly, but we'll say more than a few years. more than a few years. Basically, once I got out of college, I started working in the industry, which is pretty awesome. Pretty lucky, actually. It's pretty rare that you can get such a dream job, right? Alright, I haven't thought about how we're gonna go back to either diving or flying. Oh, I guess we'll just use the same triggers, huh? So on dive, we'll go back to dive. And on flying, we go back to flying. How bad is this gonna look? It's gonna look pretty bad. let's see. Let me think about university. So, I actually had a decent amount of credits from high school, so I got to skip all the intro classes for the most part. Yeah, it's gonna look bad, but so I got to skip like the really crappy intro classes, which was nice. Let's see. Which classes did I take? I had like a Java-based intro to object-oriented class, which I thought was okay-ish. I mean, you learn a lot about different data structures, and I think what's important to keep in mind is that sure, while you're not going to build an octree like for most jobs, the skills you learn there doing it are applicable, I would say. It's why a lot of job interviews will ask problems about data structures, because if you can reason about data structures, you can generally reason about other things in programming, right? I did take some pretty good classes though. Like, I thought we had an operating systems class that was actually super interesting, where we added like a file system and a scheduler onto some Linux-based operating system. I mean, that kind of stuff, it's tough, but it really does teach you a lot of fundamentals. What other classes did I even take? I mean, I took some like so I have a bachelor's master's. I took a bachelor's master's combined program at school, so I do have a master's in computer science. So I started taking like graduate level classes in my 3rd and 4th years, and there were some pretty good ones. But a lot of it's indeed not practical. Like theory classes, honestly, those were some of the hardest classes I took. But when you get like a 60 on your test, and it's basically one of the best grades in the class, that's how you know it's hard. We actually had a game design class at our school that was actually super interesting. So basically, it was a combined class where you could take it if you were in computer science or in art. And so we actually got to team up with artists, like real art students, to work on a game. It was really cool. Definitely a challenge, working with a team of people who are perhaps not as motivated to succeed, to put it gently. Alright, actually, I rethought this. Actually. So instead of going back based on a transition, yeah, here's what we're gonna do. You're in your 3rd and last year, and you're barely doing coding. Man, that's pretty rough. Networks where they talk about 10 megabit, or that's pretty ridiculous. Man, so my suggestion then is probably really you just need to take your learning into your own hands at that point. There's so many good resources online. You could probably really learn just about anything you need to know about programming online. And if you can find like a project you're interested in, that will definitely help give you some motivation to go explore, different aspects of programming. So that's my 2 cents, I guess. You feel like most students, well, if they don't know what they want to do, go study IT. I mean, yeah, it's definitely a thing, right? Because IT, right, like you can definitely make some big bucks in IT, and we always need IT people. So, yeah, it's tough, right? Like, it's definitely a good area to get into, but you do end up with a lot of people who don't really care at all, which is pretty rough. It sounds like maybe you're in more of an IT-based program than a computer science type program. Not really sure though, but that might be some of the challenge as well. Like, I don't know if I even took a class on networking, now that I think about it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, I did take some, like, weird Unix class where we learned all about Unix. I don't remember what we actually did in that class. It wasn't really programming. I don't remember. Oh, one of my other favorite classes was, there was a class where we explored different programming languages that are non-standard languages. There was like a functional programming language, what was it called? I don't remember, but we also did, there's Prolog, which was a declarative programming language or something like that. Yeah, part of it is you kind of just need the degree though for people to like somewhat take you seriously. That's at least kind of how it works in most of the industry. But yeah, I mean, really, what's going to be impressive, right, is if I get your resume and I see that you have like a GitHub link and you've got like a really cool project hosted, and I can go look at it. That's definitely going to be like a big boost, I think. Like, I want to see that you're like knowledgeable and passionate about what you want to do. Those are kind of the biggest driving factors of, getting into a real job. Okay, yeah, it's an IT degree. Yeah, if you don't have a pure computer science program, that's rough. I mean, statistics is, I had to take a statistics class. I wasn't a huge fan, honestly. It was mostly like proofs and stuff. I mean, definitely useful to have, but not super relevant to what to what you're gonna do in most jobs, I would say. But yeah, I think you'll probably just wanna. I mean, it depends on like, have you thought about what kind of job you want to get? Like, do you want to go work in games, or do you want to, go work for a big company like, Microsoft or Apple or Facebook or... Yeah, only 6, yeah, that's rough. But yeah, I mean, basically what you should do is try to figure out what kind of job you want, and then just work on the skills and things that you think they're gonna want you to have. But yeah, like if you're interested in like running servers and stuff, when I think of IT, I think about like running servers and databases and managing the corporate network and that kind of thing. You like programming, but you're struggling to find direction. Yeah, game dev is pretty awesome. Yeah, full stack. What does full stack even mean? Is that that might be a newer term than what I'm used to. Oh, it's just client and server software. Yeah, I mean, if you want to be a web dev or something, again, the best thing there is really to just be able to show off your work, right? If you can show off something you made and it works well, then that's a big boost. Honestly, I think the reason I got my job right out of college was that I was, during the interview process, I had brought along um, a laptop with my game project on it that I was working on at the time. And so I showed it off to him and, had him check it out. And, it's kind of a janky game at the time, but I think they could tell that I was interested and that I could learn how to do things, right? Because honestly, a lot of straight out of college hires, they're really not going to know at all what to do with what we want. So really, we want to make sure you can learn stuff. Now, a caveat with this, I don't really do interviews. I try to stay away from interviews. Because giving interviews to people is quite awful in my opinion. It's just so weird. But I've done a few. I've done a few though. And man, sometimes you can tell right away if the person doesn't know what they're talking about. Like we had one guy. We were asking him a question, and he would just kind of like rant about other things than our question. And he'd say, you build this on blah blah blah, and he would but he would actually say blah blah blah. And it's like, no dude, come on, specifics. Give us specifics. Yeah, if you do have a GitHub, I would want to make sure, like, don't, if you've got just like 10 different projects on your GitHub, you probably don't want to provide a link just to that. Like, pick one or two that you're really proud about, and I would just stick those on your application somewhere. Yeah, it's more like, that's not going to get you through screening, right? But, when it comes time to actually do like a real interview, they might care at that point. Yeah, like once you get through initial screening and then have like a phone interview, if there's more to it after that, then they might actually look. It depends on what the question is, honestly. I mean, I would never want to just be like, I don't know, and then stop. I mean, when I was interviewing, the company I work for, we had one of those, like five-step interview loops where you interview 5 different people. And I definitely did not know the answer to some of their questions. But, the important thing, right, if it's a programming question, just ask questions, try to get an understanding of the, what they want as best you can, and then go through the steps you would do to try to solve it. And if you don't get to a solution, I mean, that's fine, but you want to demonstrate that you know how to problem solve and that given enough time or enough coaching that you would be able to solve it. If it's more of a like theory-based question, I mean, it's really going to depend. Like, you're going to just have to answer it to the best of your ability. I would try to stay away from I don't know, but I mean, you could definitely say like, well, I'm not familiar with blah 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 technology, but maybe you've used something similar, right? So yeah, that's my thoughts. Alright, so let's see, we're gonna actually delete this, that one, and we're gonna make a copy. Alright, so the reason I'm doing this is because I want to have the transition, so we're gonna go Melam, right? I might want to have... Yeah, so we're going to transition back. And it's just going to be based on time, actually. Oh, how do I do that, though? I do it here. Well, I guess it's automatic, maybe. Oh, so I don't even need to do a condition, I guess. It'll just do it after it finishes, the animation. Alright, there we go. Alright, so that'll let us switch to melee attacking. Do I often get demotivated looking at other people's code? Seeing other people's code? After I showed my code, it demotivated you a bit, making you feel like you don't know anything. And that all the effort you've done is nothing. Oh no. Made you feel like there's a lot to learn, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've been in the industry for a while, so, you know, I've got years and years of professional coding that I've perfected my craft with. And I mean, honestly, you know, there's so many things I don't know that, it's definitely, yeah, for sure. I mean, so I tend not to watch other people code or anything online, but I do look at other people's code at work, right, as code reviews, or just when I'm searching through, trying to find how to do something. And I am always impressed with what other people can write. And some of it I know I have no hope of understanding. I think it's important to always just approach it with a learning mindset, right? That way you can just slowly and surely get better. Alright, so let's go ahead and add a ship controller. Let's do a play a melee attack. We'll just do the same thing here. What did I call it? Did I call it on melee or did I call it on melee attack? This is why it helps to have standardized things. I did call it on melee attack. Let's change it to on melee. Because there's no reason to have attack in there. Alright, and that updated automatically. Alrighty, so we've got some functions to play our attack. But how are we going to actually trigger it, I wonder? Oh, you created an account for a competitive coding website. Oh man, I used to do some of those back in like high school. I don't think I ever did any in college though. We had like programming competitions where your team would go and like solve random problems. But they would have problems that and after a struggle you'd be able to get it. And then you can see other people's code, and they do it in like 3 lines. Yeah, I mean that's gonna happen for sure if people know how to do things, right? I was thinking about doing that sometime. Hold on, let me see if I've got... link up already or not. What was it called? Oh, LeetCode? Is that what the one you did? Let's see, I think I have an account on LeetCode. I can't remember my password though. Part about it, Code Wars. I've never used Code Wars. Let me look that up. I don't have a lot of comments. I mean, part of it, right, like what would I even write for a comment in this function, right? I mean, I've already got, I'm getting the animator from the model container, and then if it's not null, then I set a trigger. Like what am I gonna write here, right? Ideally, your code documents itself, in my opinion. Now, I do have comments in some places, right? That one actually probably doesn't apply, but you know, whenever I make a note of something, like the comments are there to help you figure things out. I probably should have commented this code for sure, but honestly, if I'm gonna change this code that calculates how my ship rotates, I'm probably gonna need to fully understand it, so I'll probably just read it all again. But yeah, I don't know, like there's no point in adding a comment here, right? Because it's like, well, if you're going left to right, do this or that. I probably should have commented about why which one's negative or whatever, but yeah, ideally your code, you could just man, I really don't have a lot of comments, do I? Yeah, that function could probably use some comments. Yeah, I don't know. I try not to write just tons and tons of comments because it gets annoying, but alright, hold on, let me join Code Wars real quick. Maybe I'll just pick C#. Okay, maybe I'll share this window. Alright, so we got a super basic problem here, looks like. It's kind of tiny, can you even see it? Try to make it bigger. Alright, this is just a introduction thing. This code does not execute properly. Try to figure out why. Well, it's because there's a space here. So you need to have like a plus or something, right? What was I supposed to do? I guess I should read the instructions. Alright, what do we do? Oh, the function's called multiply, so we should probably multiply. Yeah, I didn't even read the function. Alright, hold on, let me hide it for a second. Alright, what do we wanna do? Maybe game and desktop. I don't wanna make it too crazy. I would say I'm master. I should be master. Alright, not interested, no. Alright, let's do a C# program. Do we just do this? Oh, it's too big now. let's see, the problem with these, right, is I go read the instructions, write a function that accepts an array of 10 integers and returns a string of those in the form of a phone number. Oh, that's like super trivial. Yeah, these things just seem kind of not very interesting, but I mean, I would just do this. I mean, do we need to have error handling? It doesn't sound like it. But if we're not doing error handling, I mean, we can just do like. Oh, that's gonna be so terrible. I'm not gonna do that. Because you could just do like numbers sub-0. You could just do this. Oh, it's so terrible. Right? And then, so the first three. What do we need? A parentheses. And it looks like it wants a space there. So we'll have a space. Yeah, is that exactly what you did? I mean, it's definitely a valid solution. You know, if you're just trying to format something, why make it harder than it needs to be, right? Let's see, and then a dash, and then 4 numbers. Again, going off screen a little bit, but you know what I'm doing. Alright, well that seems to be all we need. Let's submit it. Alright, we passed. So yeah, that was super easy. Kind of a lame solution, but let's see. Should we find a harder... Oh, this is pretty cool. That's a neat way to do it. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with the various ways you can string format in, I like this guy's comment. Let's see, let's find a harder problem. What do we want to click on? Oh, do you just have to level up first? I mean, I picked Master. Shouldn't it give me some hard problems? What are these, they're like Go ranks or something? Oh, these sound actually kind of hard. Hold on, let's see, we'll try a 3. Last digit of a huge number. For a given list, compute the last decimal digit. Wait, what? Like, is that power? So with 342... Oh my goodness. Yeah, these math ones, I'm not super interested in. Maybe I should just do the next one it recommends. Alright, here we go. Decode Morse code. Alright, we're gonna write a Morse code decoder. So A is dot dash. Morse is case insensitive. Spaces. Yeah, I don't know. Sounds too much like work. Let's go back to game programming. Like, a lot of the math ones are interesting if you like that kind of thing, but, I'd rather just work on my game. Alright, so I was gonna try to, hook up these functions for real. So, let's go back to where we put them in here. And delete this. Alright, so then, I still didn't figure out how I want to play it on the remote machine. That is the tricky part, isn't it? I mean, I could just send a remote procedure call, but that feels kind of dumb to do it for every animation. How do I want to do this? So the way, it's a multiplayer game, right? So, these are all my network fields, which is not very many, honestly, along with the position of the object is networked as well. How do I want to do it? I guess I could maybe have a, like a networked state machine type thing going on. That probably makes the most sense. Yeah, that probably makes the most sense, honestly. So we'll add a, animation state, maybe. I mean, we could call it maybe like ship animation state. I don't know if I'll have other animation states. So we've got flying, dive, and melee. And the assumption will be that any ship that can do those things should have the right animation available. So we're going to add another networked field with a changed function. Oh, and we need, what else do we need? Is it better to write more complex, elegant code, or code that's easier to understand, but might not perform as well? So it definitely depends on what you're doing, right? Like, if you're working in the middle of some, like, game graphics engine, and you really need all the performance you can get, then you better spend the time to make it complex. Well, you don't want to make it complex on purpose, but you better spend the time to make sure that you're getting the most performance out of it that you can, right? But if you're working on, let's say, like a tool for testers or something, right? And in that case, you probably just want it to be as easy to understand the code, because you might only be working on the tool for, a few months, and you want whoever picks it up next to be able to understand it later. Also, there's no reason, you'll have plenty of memory, plenty of CPU to work with, right? It's not a graphics intensive thing, so it really does need to be straightforward. And there's no reason to make it complicated. Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, I would say in probably most cases, you want to err on the side of simplicity, right? It's only when you have some reason, right, that you would want to change. People call this, like don't prematurely optimize is one thing people say. Like don't waste time doing something that you don't really need, right? Hold on, let's put it a little bit lower. Alright, so we're gonna have this here. So we should probably have like an animation state machine type thing. I guess we'll go ahead and grab the old and the new, just in case we need it for some reason later. What else was I saying? Another thing to consider is like if you work on like spaceships or in the medical field, in that case your code needs to be super secure, like no bugs, right? Otherwise people die. So in that case, again, you kind of want to err on the side of simplicity. That way you can test it and understand it better. Personally, I would never want to work on software that people's lives depend on, so I'm glad I work in the games industry instead. Alright, so we got our animation state here. We could probably just do a switch table. I mean, I'm not going for anything crazy here. Yeah, it's people program all kinds of things, right? Like some people program missile controls, and you better be dang sure that that's working, right? Otherwise, who knows where your missile's going? So I think mostly we're going to rely on the Unity animation state machine to fix things up for us here. But we'll do that. Alright, so now as long as I set this animation state thing, we should be good to go. My first or second, so I'm probably going to date myself here, but my first programming language was QBasic back in the day. As a kid, we had a computer growing up, and I would experiment with QBasic, just making little like text-based games or that kind of thing. So I've kind of been programming since I was probably like 10 or so, or maybe later, I don't know. So it's hard for me to, for me it's always been second nature, I suppose. You know, alright, I'm really gonna date myself now. So I played this game called ZZT Let me see if I can find it even. Yeah, here we go. Hold on, let me bring up CZT. Well, let me find a window here. So CZT was a super old school thing where you could like control a little dude, and it had its own little programming language to go along with it. For the most part, you the controls where you move around and you shoot bullets, but there was also all kinds of random things you could build, different levels and stuff. And it was all done with ASCII art. But when I was a kid, I played around with this. So yeah, I've been programming for a while. Though I guess I could relate to picking up new languages. So like I really hadn't done a ton of stuff in C# until I needed to build some tools at work. And honestly, it was pretty easy. I mean, C#'s great because I don't know, it kind of writes itself almost. Right? As long as you have the right libraries, you don't really have to worry about too much. Alright, so what was I doing? We added our state machine. Oh, I was gonna set the initial state. We'll set this in the before spawn. But yeah, I would say the more language you pick up, the easier it is. And that's probably a good thing if you want to just try pick up some language you've never used before. Maybe something really crazy like a functional language or something. Let me try to remember what this is called. What was this language I learned in school that I completely forgot about? It had to do with like lambda functions. It might have been called lambda something. Delphi, yeah, I don't think I ever really used Turbo Pascal or anything. Hi Sam, how's it going? What did I use? I mean, in school we had a, in high school we had a programming class. What were we using? We might have just been using BASIC for most of it. Oh, Haskell, yeah, that's probably the one I'm thinking about. Yeah, I think Haskell was what I took in a, in a class at school, in college. It was something like that, if it wasn't that exactly. But yeah, I don't know. JavaScript's the language that I completely taught myself by working on game projects. I mean, that's great because there's tons of resources, but it's also kind of not great because it's JavaScript. Which is quite obnoxious, actually, to program in sometimes. Alright, so we've got our animation state. Now all we should have to do is set it, and the networking code will take care of the rest. Let's see, where am I looking? So if I want to play the dive animation, then that's going to be in like perform plan or something. Prepare move. Maybe it's just an update actually. Oh no, that's just that. I thought I had like a ship update. What did I call it? Here's the fixed network update. Handle movement phase. Here we go. Get in there. I don't know why they made it the hotkey for this F12. Like who actually hits F12 on their keyboard? It's so far away. Alright, logic movement phase update. Alright, this is probably what I want. So in here, what we might do, oh, actually let's, where, don't I have like a round end or something? Round end, here we go. Alright, so on round end, let's set our animation state back to flying. I mean, maybe, but, I feel like go to definition is one of the, I mean, look, it's at the top of the list. That should tell you how often people want to hit it. So I feel like it should have been a better hotkey, right? I mean, rename's pretty good, but like, what does F3 do? Oh, F3's find. What does F1 do? Oh, this is probably search or something. I don't know what this is. Anyways. I mean, I'm sure I could change it if I really wanted to. Alright, let's actually just drop the dive thing in perform plan somewhere. We'll just do, something like this. That should be good. So that'll switch us into diving, and then we'll go back to flying on round end, which should be good. Good enough at least. We can always change it later if we need to. Alright, finally let's get back to our shooting. So fire a shot. So I think what we're gonna do is if something maybe like if yeah, we're gonna want a new well, I added this thing. I don't think I've used it yet, but we should, let me just double check, because I don't think I've used it. I might want to change my mind here. Yeah, those are all just the new thing I added. So that bowl, I was thinking in my description here, rather than melee, I think I want to put, Maybe like animation to play or something. Let me be right back real quick. I gotta get some more water. Alright, we're back. So yeah, I was thinking about adding a field to my weapons that tells it what animation should play or something like that. Yeah, so my thinking here is we'll just have different animations that can be defined in my let's see, rather than animation state, let's just call it animation. And then well, shoot. Yeah, let's just go with melee for now. C++, it's what I do most of my work in at work. And you can definitely get lots of stuff done with it, but you can definitely get yourself into trouble real quick. Real quick. Alright, we might want to fix this up later, but for now I think it's fine. Yeah, C++, I mean, being able to manage memory and stuff is very powerful, but with great power comes great responsibility. And it's generally just more annoying to do lots of things. So I would never code in C++ for like my personal projects. Because it's just going to be obnoxious. I'd much rather do a nice language like C# that helps you out. Alright, what do I need to do here? So it's going to be a little weird, right? Because this is going to deserialize. Maybe we'll add a none. And I assume it'll be initialized to nothing otherwise. I'm not familiar with Rust at all. So it's gonna be pretty hard for me to comment on that. let me look it up real quick. Rust. Let me find some example Rust code. Let's see, maybe I can show some of it. So this is what I'm looking at. And a little hard on the eyes, but here's them implementing a function. Oh, are there no types? I'm not a huge fan of untyped languages. Oh no, those are types right there. Okay, returns bool. Seems to make sense. What other things do we have here? Crates. I've never heard of crate. A crate is a compilation unit. So I guess you compile their files into crates. Interesting. Oh, I don't know about... I mean, I'm not involved enough in any communities around coding, so I don't know too much about any kind of gatekeeping or anything, but Rust doesn't completely support OOP. That's kind of weird. It's all just like flat functions and stuff. Modules. They've got casting, expressions. Pretty standard flow control looks like. I'm not a huge fan about brackets on the same line though. I don't know about that. I mean, that's certainly an idea. I mean, people do a lot of stupid stuff with... people do quite a lot of stupid stuff with OOP, so I could definitely understand that. But at the same time, like... I feel like the benefits you get are probably worth it. But yeah, inheritance can definitely be a mess if you're using it wrong. What do we got here? Some generics. Templated types, those are in other languages as well. Seems kind of cool. Traits. What? Traits can be implemented for any data type. Oh, this seems like maybe it's similar to interfaces, maybe? Yeah, it seems like maybe it's pretty similar to interfaces. Oh, it seems kind of interesting. Yeah, I've never checked it out before, though. It might be fun to try sometime. But, I mean, part of it, right, is, when you're considering what you want to program in, you kind of want to consider, how much resources there are to help you do it. Which is reasons why, you know, stuff like Unity, C#, JavaScript are so easy to use, is because there's so many different resources. Alright, so we added our animation state, and that's going to be included in our weapon. So then, in our ship, we should only have to do something like this. And that should set us up for success, I think. So that'll play the animation, because it'll set it to this, and then the change handler for that will trigger and set our animation state. Alright, am I ready to try it? So we're still going to have to remove the bullet and change some stuff. Oh, yeah, there was one more thing I wanted to do, maybe. Yeah, maybe in hit chance stats. Let's actually add a field that's like guaranteed or something like that. Because I want the melee attack to always hit. So, so if it's guaranteed. Oh, we need, that's not right. There we go. So if it's guaranteed, return true. Otherwise, determine the hit normally. Alright, so that should be good. I could probably go ahead and add this to my other weapons, just that way when I'm copying them around, they all match. Let's go ahead and copy the animation field as well to all the weapons. Oh, hold on. One more. Because this guy has 2 weapons. Alright, and for now, where am I putting the animation? Above shots. Alright, we'll go ahead and copy this one too. And now I won't have to worry about stuff being undefined. What do I think about loosely typed languages? I mean, they're useful in some cases. Like JavaScript. I kind of have a love-hate relationship with JavaScript. Like, I've worked on some game projects with it, and it's fun, and you can get stuff done really quick sometimes. But, man, if you can't get yourself into huge trouble later. And I've used Python a very tiny bit for like a school project and for one thing at work. And, it's great that it has so many libraries and stuff, right, that you can pull on. But I'm generally not a fan of loosely typed. So I've been trying to use TypeScript in my JavaScript programs, and that's great, except it makes the, I suppose the build and deploy steps a bit more complicated, which turns into a huge mess, which is one of the reasons I'm not big on JavaScript. Alright, I wanna see if this works. Oh, compiler errors. What's wrong here? Oh, it doesn't like my my change handler? What don't you like about this? The animation changed. Oh, it needs to be static. Then we need to call ship.behavior. There we go. Alright, it should like it now. Alright, success, no errors. Alright, so I probably should have put the chips a little closer to each other, but we'll just go straight for now. So I'm looking for him to play the melee animation here. Okay, so he definitely played the animation. But I kind of thought he was going to play it a little earlier. And it looks like it did hit and did a lot of damage. Of course it did, it did look pretty dumb. Alright, let's see if we can't run into him again. That should be enough for the melee animation, right? Alright, so we did melee each other again. So it does seem to be working, it just looks a little janky. But, should he be able to melee this close? I don't know. He's getting away from me. I mean, I do want it to be pretty hard to melee, but, I don't know how hard exactly I want it to be. Oh, we missed each other. I feel like I'm gonna die here. Have I ever met one of the fabled 10x devs? I don't know what that means. What's a 10x dev? Apparently it's 10x developer defined. 10x programmer, 10x engineer. Oh, it's someone 10 times more productive. I mean, that's kind of hard to define, right? Because generally people that are really good are going to be assigned to work on harder problems. So, it's a little tough to say. I mean, there are definitely people on my teams who work way too much. There's this one guy who, man, sometimes he like works on the weekends, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Why did you work on the weekend? And he's like, oh, I just, I really got into it. Like, come on, man. Freaking no reason to work on the weekend. Unless we're like really trying to ship something and it's down to the wire. But honestly, at that point, that's like management's problem, right? That's not our problem. I've been trying to, have better work-life balance recently. I wonder what I want to do here. Like, it doesn't play quite as early as I want it to. Which makes it kind of annoying. But yeah, I guess this is outside melee range. I mean, I did make melee range pretty darn close. To where they're right on top of each other, basically. Yeah, I don't know. We'll leave it at that for now. Oh, I did think, though, there is something I want to do. Let's see. What was it? There was one change I wanted to make. Oh, it had to do with when we draw the arc. Let's see. Here we go. So I knew I had this somewhere. I should probably search for this. Okay, this is the only case. So we want to change this. We probably want to... Maybe we only show the first weapon. Oh, that is what I have, actually. Oh, hold on. No, I have an idea. So I actually have some UI already. I've got these UI here. I could have it when you click on this, it shows the it shows that arc, right? That might be good. Do I want to do that now? I've been streaming for a while. I think I might actually call it a day. It's been a while. And I'm pretty tired still. Alright, let's go look at our to-do list. So we've got the melee... Oh, you can't see it. So yeah, we finished implementing our dragon. At least for the most part. There are a few things left. So, we want to have weapon selection show different arc when clicking weapons. We don't want to shoot out a bullet. No bullet for melee attack. There's just no point, or at least we want an invisible bullet for the melee attack. That might be all we're leaving ourselves with for the moment. I mean, if a really stretch goal that I'm not going to actually do is play melee animation earlier when we know a melee attack will occur later. I mean, that's like a dream feature. We're gonna throw that down under here maybe. Actually no. Maybe we'll put it under nice to have. Alright, but I do want to work on this death spiral thing. Maybe I'll do that off stream, but that'll be pretty cool if they death spiral into the ground when you die. We did all that. Alright, yeah, I think that's all the work we're leaving ourselves with at the moment. So that should be fine. Alright, cool. Hey, thanks for joining me. It's been fun chatting about random engineering things. But yeah, feel free to, drop some questions at my Twitter or Discord or anything if you want. And yeah, subscribe to my YouTube, all that good stuff. Alright, I'll see you guys later. Bye!